So my name is Carly, and I am making this video because my woofing journey has been pretty interesting this year, especially with the way that COVID has just kind of taken over the world, more the spotlight of it than actually taking over the world, but it's affected everyone's lives, is what I'm trying to say. And food being a necessary service and resource, it makes it even more a little bit complex to be woofing at this time. So I started in January, and the regulations weren't rolled out at that time, but it's obviously come to that point. Now, 2 out of 3 of the places that I've woofed, I didn't feel like it was a necessarily healthy environment. And I think there's a lot of honesty that needs to be, I guess, spoken about in that realm, because as someone who has aspired to be a farmer since I was a kid, and wanted to woof specifically since I was in middle school and I found out about woof, it was quite disheartening to have my first experience be somewhere that was very unhealthy socially, especially when the hosts are so unaware of how unhealthy it is. And so people can argue that's relative. What is a healthy environment? But when over 50% of your production is done by volunteers, and your volunteers are eating 2 meals out of 3 meals a day, the same basically as what the goats are eating, yeah, there's a problem. So to be able to work hard, we need to be healthy. And so the social environment needs to be healthy, and the food environment needs to be healthy. The social environment is complex, and I understand differs from family to family, farm to farm, of course. And not everything is going to be smooth 100% because we're humans, and that's fine. And that's where grace and understanding need to definitely play a part, of course. On the health side and the food side is where I think I've been the most disheartened, with the 2 farms out of 3 this year, which is if you have separate food for your woofers and separate food for your family, and the quality is very apparent in difference. I understand people are trying to get by, but your woofers aren't going to be doing their best if they're not healthy. And because woof is worldwide opportunities on organic farms, it needs to be very clear on your profile, what that actually means. And there's stuff to say, are you certified or you're not? What kind of methods do you use? How much do you eat for your family meal that is organic? Stuff like that. That is, as a woofer, that is what I look at first. And if I come and it is not at all close to what is on the profile, yeah, that's really not okay, because especially during COVID, to get to a farm in Canada where, like, there's not even Greyhound buses a lot of places, and using any form of transportation really other than like a bicycle is not the easiest thing to do. So, and it costs money. So there needs to be a lot of understanding between hosts and woofers. But for a lot of woofers, they're not working with much to get from place to place, and so I feel for everyone in the situation where it's tricky. But as long as we have transparency and honesty, there shouldn't be any problems. Um, yeah, I guess I don't think my expectations are too high, but I'm making this video just to say that uh, I work really hard. I love the work that I've been doing mostly, except for burning garbage. And some other questionable things. But for the most part, I love the work that I do, and there's no money in it, not getting much out of it, other than learning the experience. I value that. My dream has always been specifically to do farming in Asia, so there is a lot that's not applicable, but there is a lot that is too. So, um, yeah. um, what I want to do also with my connection to Asia and my extensive experience with people who are coming here, either as immigrants, refugees, or on temporary visas. I grew up in a community where I was one of the only white kids, and I value that greatly. I got to eat tons of different food from all around the world, homemade meals. I really couldn't have asked for anything more. Um, and I decided to do that as a kid. So I was also in homes where the the parents, if not the whole family, was English was a second language. So that's actually more comfortable to me than I don't know, stereotypical Canadian growing up with people that might look similar to you or whatever. Yeah, that's just my experience, and I'm happy for it. But I've never stopped taking the time to be with and spend time with those people who are struggling with communication, because I see myself in the same position when I'm an adult. And the dream to live in Asia has also been since I was in grade 2. So I always knew one day I'm going to be in your shoes. And that has always been a huge part of who I am. So I don't want to introduce people from other other countries, or even people who have been here for a long time, or even who grew up here and are thinking about doing stuff like woofing or going into that kind of industry, because we definitely globally need more people to be doing that. It's essential. It really is essential. Before it was labeled essential, it was essential, because everybody needs food, and a dignified food that is medicine and not making you sick, because being sick is very expensive. So, as I'm going from place to place, I'm also looking out for, would I suggest someone else to be in this space? Like I said, of course, there's going to be some dynamics, especially when it's families. That is just part of the deal. And that's fine to an extent. But we all need to be a lot more gracious, especially in this time. And yeah, I hope to be able to offer my strength, my knowledge from working in the organic industry for so long, the health industry, and 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 bring more people to good farms. And also, I don't need to steer clear or tell other people about bad places. I just want to refine a list where I've went there, I've worked there. It might be hard work, that's fine, but This is a place where you are going to learn, you're going to be valued as a worker, and you have to value the space that you're in. You need to respect the space you're